We're live. Hey friends, welcome this week to the Gardener's Workshop live shopping show. It is your friend Lisa Mason Ziegler, and guess what? Today my sis is joining us here on the show once we get rolling, and here she comes. So before we jump into the show, let's just take care of some housekeeping stuff, right? First off, we would love for you to invite your friends. Hit the share button. If you're in the app, you can hit the share button and let your friends know that we're live. And just also a reminder that today is the last day to purchase Steve and Gretel's course, Growing Cut Flower Crops in Hoop and Greenhouses at the legacy price until midnight tonight. Plus, we have an awesome quick reference PDF guide.
And what is the legacy price?
The legacy price is $595 for the course, which you have unlimited lifetime access to. And the prices are going up tomorrow, November 18th, on the entire Flower Farm and School series. So it's a great opportunity, and you can learn more about the course and purchase it over at thegardenersworkshop.com. And there's a banner at the top of every page for today anyway. So you can check that out, and would love for you to check it out. If you're a flower farmer and you want to scale your business, whether you have a structure yet or not, this is the course for you. It is so much planning, pest control and management and soil and just planning, and it's just full of great stuff. All right, friends, so remember, when you're in here shopping, if you just want to check out and update and double check your account and make sure there's no typos. We've had a couple of problems with phone numbers and emails when we had order questions. So please double check that for us. And remember that seed-only orders ship for free here inside of the app. And then if you purchase products, the shipping is capped at $9.95. Remember, we ship to all 50 of the United States. And if you're watching us here from social media, we are so glad you have joined us. We're happy you're here. But we also want you to know that we actually have a phone app. And why would you want to watch it through the phone app? There are so many more features, y'all, that you can take advantage of, like watching replays, creating a favorites list, and you can comment back and forth. And so we really would, you can find it at your phone's app store. Just search Gardener's Workshop. Download it. Is totally free. It doesn't take but a second. You can probably pop over and do that and come back if you so would want to do that. So one of the things, if you go to purchase a product but it's already sold out, it'll come up and say out of stock, and underneath that it'll say you want to get on the wait list. We recommend that you do that because our phone app store and our big website store are totally separate. We have to literally bring digital inventory over to stock this. Oftentimes, when something sells out, the team is working behind the scenes to bring stuff over, more stock over. And you'll just get a little ding on your phone when that happens. So that's all you're doing when you sign up for the wait list. And lastly, y'all, my goodness, we absolutely just love it and are so flattered when people post the sunflower emoji. Those are our family, the TGW students, identifying themselves as one of us, and we just really, really love it. So that's why people are posting the sunflower emojis. Now, today's show, this is what it's all about today. All of the best uses and tips for my favorite tools. And guess what? Today, the 2023 Mystery Grab Bag Seed Sale starts today. We'll learn more about that in a minute. We're also going to be going through what's blooming. We do have a few fresh things, and then we're going to start looking at some cool flower drieds, as well as we got a giveaway. We'll be doing the prize drawing for our live viewers. And remember, y'all, we are now doing an end of the show live Q&A. So stick around, and if you have a question, you can post it in the comments. Just start your comment off with @Lisa, and the girls will pick that up, and we'll pick a few of those to actually answer. So friends, I love giving away stuff. Y'all know that, right? And this week we are going to give away one of our Japanese hand hoes. This is the left-hand model and this is the right-hand model. This is one of our favorite tools ever, and I'm giving one away. So if you would like to be entered, if you're in the app, just hit the buy button. You're not buying anything. That's going to put you on the list. If you're on social media, you can just type Sold 101 in the comments, and that will put you on the list, and we'll be drawing from that list at the end of the show to see who the lucky winner is. So friends, we are super excited to share. Guess what's happening next week besides Thanksgiving? But this is definitely something I'm really grateful for. We are actually launching the pre-sale of my new book, The Cut Flower Handbook, which is such a beautiful book, y'all. I can't wait for you. Have to go to the launch. When you see the pre-order come out, you'll get an email if you're on the wait list. You have to go to the page, the sales page, and look. It is the most beautiful page we've ever had. It's got some of the images, and that is just a little inkling of what's included in this book. So what's going to happen is next week we are launching the pre-order, and what that means is that you purchase the book. The book does not ship until February. However, everyone that pre-orders is going to get the free bonus of Cool Flowers Plant Zone Planting Guide. That's not the exact name. Anybody know what the exact name of that is? It's the Cool Flowers Planting Guide? I think that might be what it is. Zone Planting Guide, perhaps. Anyway, we're only giving that out for pre-orders. And here's the thing, friends. Pre-orders are limited. We've only been guaranteed a certain number of books by the publisher for the first printing. So that's going to come out on Monday, November 20th. So keep your eyes peeled. If you're on the wait list, you'll get an email. And if you're not on the wait list, you can get on the wait list right now, and so that you can get a part of that. And y'all, I can't wait for February to come for you to actually get the book. We also still do have Cool Flowers in stock. It is currently sold out everywhere else that we're aware of. I would love to sign a copy for you. And you know, if you feel like maybe you missed the Cool Flower fall planting, guess what, friend? The next window is right around the corner, and that's very early spring, and that's for everybody. So I would love to sign a copy of Cool Flowers for you. It's $22.95, and that'll get you ready to roll right after the holidays are over. We also have in stock my book, Vegetables Love Flowers. Friends, this is a book about why vegetables benefit from flowers and the way that we provide that constant flower presence in the vegetable patch is by growing a cutting garden. This is really a 3-season cutting garden, down and dirty, how to set it up, what to grow, some tips on harvesting. But the last section of this book is about the methods that I garden and farm with, meaning I don't use pesticides, and just how we handle all that. So I would love to sign a Vegetables Love Flowers for you. And it's just all about the flowers, y'all, and what it brings to the vegetable garden. So would love to actually do that. So the tip of the day this week is about getting the right tools, right? And when you have the right tools to do a job, it just makes the job so much more enjoyable and easier. That's what enjoyment is to me, quick and fast and not really taxing for me. And so by having the right tools, because we're talking about tools today, it's about being efficient, whether you're digging or planting or weeding or just doing things quicker and easier, like harvesting. I can't tell you how many places I've been, and when I see what they say, oh, let's go out in my garden and cut some flowers. What they're cutting flowers with, they're out there trying to get it to work. I just can't tell you how easy it is to do the job and quick and efficient when you have the right tools. Also, when you buy quality tools, they just hold up longer. You know, we often tell people if you don't leave this out in the garden, this, you know, you'll be having to like will this to somebody, right? It'll be going to your kids. So you don't waste a lot of time repairing and replacing, and they're just durable and built to last. So our tools also are made to reduce strain on your body, preventing injuries. You know, the little hand hoe that we use, and we'll demonstrate it and show you when you use it the right way. Not only is it quick and efficient and doesn't bring weeds for the future, it's easy on your body. And we don't offer a whole lot of different tools, right? Because our tools are they're multitasking, y'all. That's basically the bottom line. Because we don't want to have a lot of tools. I'm often even surprised how few tools we actually use here on the farm. So the deal of the day today is 20% off the following tools. And Suzanne is going to kind of do the lineup, and I'm going to be chiming in here with her. So sister, start us off here.
The Japanese hand hoe. These are so useful. We carry them around like a purse here on the farm. This hoe, you place it so that the hoe is flat on the ground. You just go under about an inch, half an inch of soil, and you pull it through, and it's sharp. It just cuts right through those weeds. If you have bigger weeds, you can use it this way to get them down deeper. I also use this to draw a line to plant seeds in. You can use it to plant potted plants in to make a bigger hole. But because you do it like this and don't back up a lot of soil when you're using it, after you do this every week or so, for a few weeks, you'll run out of weeds because all of the weed seeds in that little bit of soil would have already germinated. So this is just easy, easy, easy. Takes care of those nasty weeds. And of course, we have the right hand, and then we had them make and ship us a left-handed one for Kelly, our niece, who's left-handed, and several of our nieces and nephews are left-handed. If you are right-handed, you can't use the lefty unless you want one for each hand. But
I'm saying, sister, we also love it for extending our arm. When you're down on the ground and you want to reach way over there and scrape and stuff, it is really great for that too.
So this is the perfect gift for any gardener, or more importantly, for anyone who owns a yard. We all have weeds out there that we have to go out and tackle occasionally. So this would be a perfect gift, especially for the left-handed person that doesn't really have a lot of options. And it is on sale. It's regularly $24.95. You save $4.99. It's $19.96. What a perfect $20 gift. Get one for everybody on your list. It's perfect. Next, we have the sod and harvest knives. There's a small one and a large one. Let's see, which one are we doing first? We're doing the large one. So this is 4.5-inch blade, and it's kind of like a Ginsu blade. It's really sharp, and you don't have to sharpen it. It just stays sharp forever. And this is perfect for harvesting greens, for getting all the stuff that gets stuck under your tiller. I can't speak. Hello. Your tiller or anything like that. I love to use it when we're outside mulching, and I've just gotten a few bags of mulch, and this just cuts right through the bag so you can dump the mulch out. Just makes easy work of anything that you do. So the large one is $9.95. You actually save $2. Sorry, it's $9.95 regularly. On sale, it's $7.96. What a perfect stocking stuffer. You can also use this to cut through roots and weeds that are down in your soil.
We use it to cut plants out of the ground and to split our leaf bags open.
Yep, and so here is his little brother. This is the little mini one, and he's 2.5 inches. He's regularly $9.95, on sale for $7.96. And this just gives you a little more leverage because of the shorter blades. You can get a little more force with it for cutting that twine off of your tiller. But perfect stocking stuffer. It's just the cutest thing ever. Again, get one for everybody on your list. Everybody can use this who has a yard. Perfect.
They come as a bundle.
Yep, and there will also as a bundle. Both of them, $17.95 regularly for $14.36 on sale. So you get them both. You can give one to one person, one to another. Keep one for yourself. Perfect, perfect gifts.
I divided my lariathy with it.
Oh, Kelly said she divided her lariathy. I mean, it's great for getting down in the soil. Next up, we have the mini dibber. The mini dibber is perfect for making a little hole to plant a small seedling, especially through the biotello, which is the mulch layer that we use on the farm here. And it will just poke right through it and make a small hole so that you don't expose much of the soil where weeds will grow around it. The mini guy is regularly $7.95. It's on sale for $6.36. And again, a perfect stocking stuffer for any gardener. They would love it. Now we have the big dibber. It's his big brother. This one is a lot taller. It also has the inch marks, so if you're planting bulbs, you know how deep you need to plant them. And he is regularly $14.95, on sale for $11.96. Another great gift for any gardener. Next we have Bobo's hand weeder. And this is what Bobo uses a lot when she's out planting seedlings through the Bio 360 out on the farm. You can also use it to remove your dandelions, but we like dandelions, so depends on your yard situation and your pollinators. But this one is regularly $7.95, on sale for $6.36. And this is a heavy duty tool, wood handle, heavy metal. So this is a great deal for less than $6.50 to have for yourself or to give as a gift. Next, we have our Hori Hori. This is made for digging in the soil. This is heavy duty metal. It's serrated edge on it. I do remember a little old lady at a show told me that she bought one to keep by her bedside to use for protection. That is not what we recommend, but you may want to consider. But this is what is made to harvest rocks, is what I say, to cut any roots down in the soil and just do all those things that you shouldn't be putting your other tools down in the soil for. This one is made for it. So the Hori Hori garden knife is on sale for $37.56. And again, this is a forever tool. It's $9.39 off. Perfect for men. When we're at shows, there's not a man that walked by the table that didn't stop and have to pick this up and take it out of the sheath and see what was inside. So men just love tools in general, but sharp knives they really like.
Let me tell you what I just used that for the first time, y'all. Last week I was building a Bio 360 bed, a small 3x10 cutting garden demo, so it's not out in my garden where the soil is loose. I literally used the Hori Hori to drag and make a little trench for me to tuck the Bio 360. I had never thought of using that before, and it worked beautifully. So the Hori Hori kind of moved up my list when I did that last week. Totally loved it.
Next we have our favorites. These are our shears. You've heard Lisa speak of these before. We used to use Felcos, which are heavy duty. They're really hard to squeeze when your hands get older. This spring in here makes this really easy. This is perfect for anyone. Anytime that this is up as an option at one of our little giveaway events, someone picks these first. They're just the best to have. These are bonsai shears. We use them to cut flowers. We cut big sunflowers with these. Smaller woodies do great in this, and it's just great to have this around. They are on sale for $33.56, regularly $41.95, so this is a great deal. Anyone would love this gift. And then we also have the pouch. This is our favorite pouch because it comes with this clip. You just slide it on your pocket. You don't have to wear a belt, which can be hot in the summer. So the pouch and shear together, yeah, there's Lisa's old one. Mine is not quite as used as much, but yours will look pristinely light colored leather when you get it. But the pouch and shear together is just a perfect gift. You'll never lose your shears. We lost quite a few. You lay them down when you're doing something, forget about them, and then you till them up 3 years later in the garden. So keep it on your pant pocket. Keep your shears in your pouch. You'll never lose them. They'll always be right at your fingertips. Lisa and I are like gunslingers. Can whip them right out and clip something, and we just put them right back. So the shear and pouch kit together is $48.72, and that is a savings of $12.18. And again, anyone would love to have these. There's always something in your yard you have to trim back, and perfect gift, or get it for yourself. Next we have our sieve. This is the sifter we use to sift our soil, peat moss, compost, anything that you're going to use, especially if you're making soil blocks. You want it to be very fine and not have chunks in it. And this is perfect because it fits on the top of a 5-gallon bucket. Some we've had before have not. We finally found one that does. Heavy duty 1/4-inch wire here, and it's very simple to use. The sieve is perfect for anybody that is starting seeds. It is on sale for $15.96. What a deal. Regularly $20, regularly $19.95. So this is perfect for anyone starting seeds or starting plants of any kind. It's great to have the sifter. Now, what are we doing?
All the specials are available until they either sell out or until Sunday at 8 a.m. So all of those ones Susie Q went through is 20% off, and they're available until Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Now, I want to show you some of my favorite tools also. Just it's kind of the things of the season. We just kind of we did this a couple weeks ago when somebody asked us if we had it. We're actually put this together as a little set. This is the aluminum seed pan and the little toothpick dispenser and holder. And the two of these together is $2.95. And if you're a seed sower, aluminum is where it's at to put your seeds in because there's no static electricity, y'all. You don't fight to get the seeds out. So that is $2.95. So this is one of my favorite tools, y'all. And I talk about it all the time because people often skip this step. This is a seedling heat mat. And yes, flower farmers, big farmers still use heat to germinate their seedlings because the soil needs to be warmed up to make them pop. So this is $38.95. 3 to 4 of our little small 60 soil blocks per tray, reusable trays will fit on this. It has a built-in thermostat. It warms up to 15 to 20 degrees warmer than the surrounding air temperature, which is exactly what most seeds need. This is the piece that most people are missing. We get so many people reaching out with issues, and it's because their soil is cool to cold, and most seeds will not germinate. So this is the small heat mat for $38.95. And so this is our plant marker bundle. So this has, I haven't talked about the pen in such a long time, y'all. This is our garden marker, and this is made to be outside in the UV rays and in moisture and not go away. You can find this individually in the app. But we've put this bundle together, which is $24.80. It has 10 of these 18-inch, 10 of these 12-inch, and the pen for $24.80. This is one of the things, if you got a gardener in your life, this is the stuff gardeners just don't buy for themselves because they're too busy buying plants, buying seeds, buying all this other stuff, right? This is really useful, and I'll give you a little tip. After I use one side, then I use the other side, and then after I've used both sides, you can literally dip the sticks into some paint, like a half gallon of paint, and just pull it out and let it drip and let it dry, and you've got a fresh surface to do it all over again. So that's the bundle for $24.80. So friends, I am here to tell you about the Bio 360, which this is the time of the year that I really realize just how valuable this is. This is the biodegradable film that looks and works like plastic, meaning it covers the bed surface so it prevents annual weed seeds from sprouting until you make a hole and let them get light. We really have used this for about 10 years and love it. This is biodegradable, so that means it can either be incorporated into the soil or you can just mulch on top of it and it'll disintegrate. It comes in a 48-inch wide piece, 50 feet long, and you can buy an individual pack for $26.95, which is 50 feet long, or 6 pieces, 50 feet long, for $134.95. I cannot tell, we'd have never scaled our farm 10 years ago had it not been for this. It just saves a whole lot of weed pressure and a lot of labor, and we love it. It is black on one side, which is the side we put up when we're making fall and very early spring beds. Summer beds, we make it with the light gray side up so that the surface doesn't get so hot. So the Bio 360 is really a big piece of how our farm was so successful and grew so big. All right, y'all. Floating row cover. We're already seeing it happen. People getting unexpected cold weather and they're kind of not prepared. Friends, this is the lightweight floating row cover. The row cover comes in different weights. We only use the lightweight because I have more uses for this. We use this standard operating procedure where after we plant, most often we'll cover. Fairly soon after that, it blocks the wind. It keeps deer, rabbits, and squirrels at bay. And when I'm direct seeding, I don't even use hoops. We just lay the floating row cover down and use the weight bags that I'll show you. But what we tend to underestimate is how important blocking the wind from our particularly cool season hardy annuals that are getting wind whipped all winter long. Even though it's a lightweight row cover, blocking the wind and concentrating the sunshine is very beneficial to your plants. And then if you've got Black Bio 360 underneath there, it really creates an amazing environment. So this comes in a 6.5 by 50 foot long piece. And you know, I always have enough at the very minimal to cover all my cool flower beds, and I often have enough to double cover in the event of a crazy temperature swing. So that is floating row cover. Now, the way that we hold those covers down is we use sandbags. That's what this is. It has an opening at the top and it has a string. We fill it with either gravel, soil, or sand with about 15 pounds. Put some in, take it in your house and weigh it on your bathroom scale. Get an idea. 15 pounds with them placed throughout your row cover along the edges. I put 3 on each end and then 1 about every 12 feet along the side. Keeps our row covers down, and we live in a really windy site. So this comes in a 10 pack. You get 10 anchor bags for $10.95, and they do break down in UV rays. I get about 2 seasons out of them. I always, when I'm not using them, try to place them together and cover them with a silage tarp or something like that just to block the sun, because it just makes them last longer, right? And friends, we haven't talked about this in a while. This is our veggie planter. This is a sliding rule, right? So this has a spring side and a fall side. You move that little red line to when your...
It's upside down.
It is? Oh, it's, there we go. Sorry, each side is, yeah. Thank you. So this little red line right here, you move it to your frost date, which is across the top. This thing tells you when to start seeds, when to plant them out in the garden. But what I find the most valuable about this for the vegetable garden is it tells me when I can put the last planting in. Like this tells me that for tomatoes, for my frost date, which is November 15th, that my last planting of tomatoes is mid-July. And it does it for all these lists. So this is $5.95, and this is you definitely want to have this in your drawer to refer to, but this is also another really great gift. And y'all have heard us talk about our gloves before. These are the Atlas Touch gloves that have nitrile. They're not latex. We live in these gloves, literally. They come in extra small, small, medium, and large. We can sow seeds in them. You can do everything in them. We have quilters that wear them. People milk cows in them. The post office wears them, FedEx. They give you a grip, if you can imagine that. And I'm going to tell you just a super short, sweet story. When we used to sell these at shows, where we sold thousands of these at shows, because what's the price point? $7.95 a pair, or a 4-pack for $24.95. Let me tell you what this set of girls that came every year and bought them, they each bought 4-packs, and then they would mix, because when you get a 4-pack, you get all the colors. It's not an individual color. They would mix them up, so it would be like a purple and a pink, and that's what they would give to one of their girlfriends. And they said that really helped them to think of their girlfriends when they used their gloves, thinking who had the other color, the matching color. So that was a really cute and super sweet story. Gloves are machine washable. You can hang them to dry. I put them on a boot dryer, or you can just wash them like you're washing your hands and hang them up to dry.
And you should get a whole basket full, and then when your guests come over for Christmas, you can just pass the basket around and let them try them on and pick out which colors they want, and it's perfect little gift.
That's true. That is really a great idea. I actually do that with my Ziegler side of the family. Is I have these, and the next ones I'm getting ready to show, pass them around, and everybody gets to pick their color and their size. So that's a great idea, sister. So these are $7.95 a pair. I mean, that's unheard of, y'all. We've never come through the end of a pair. Of course, I don't really have fingernails, but these last, so you cannot go wrong. Now, the black ones are the same situation, except they're a little bit more heavy duty. So these are only come in black, and we actually sell this to sold these also to a local brick mason. So they're super heavy duty. They just have more dip. They come from small, medium, large, and extra large. And they're just, I wear these in the winter because they are a little bit warmer, but also the black color just helps to warm up your hands. It really is amazing. I've tried to wear them in the summer before, and it didn't work out very long. All right, so these are the same price point, $7.95 a pair, y'all, or four for $24.95. That is just really a great deal. All right, so reminding everybody, we are giving away a hand hoe today. Hit the buy button if you're in the app. You're not buying one, you're just getting on the wait list. Hit the button, or if you're on social media, Sold 101, and that will enter you, and we will pull the winner live right before the end of the show. And in case you just joined, I am going to be taking a couple of questions at the end of the show. If you'd like to ask a question about anything, seed starting, cut flower business, products, whatever you got, bring it. Just type your question with @Lisa, and we'll pick a few of those to actually do at the end of the show. So I want to tell you that, you know, we buy, when you become a commercial flower farmer, you're constantly buying seeds. You buy seeds when you see them, learn about them, find out about them, so you'll have them when the time comes. And that means we're storing them properly, and we use these desiccants, which are moisture absorbers, and you can get a 2-pack for $2.95 or a 10-pack for $9.95. This is one of those things you want to have in your drawer and ready to go. We do have a great blog over on our blog that Rhonda wrote about storing seeds longer. It's short and sweet and to the point, y'all. You can check that out so that you buy seeds and then you can feel assured that you're actually storing them properly. Keep in mind that all the flowers that I grow here on my farm now, I'm growing them from the same seeds that you're buying from us. We literally, Bobo and I, get the calendar, get our list of what needs to be started. She sends the order up to the warehouse. They pull the seeds, and that's what I bring home from the warehouse for us to start. That does a couple of things for us. So we just really pull them straight off the rack and are using those. And that helps us to know, to kind of check, you know, our seeds, but also for you to know that we also would have if there was ever a problem, we want to know about it. So we are actually growing the same seeds that we're actually selling to you. Now, today we are launching our mystery grab bag seed sale, which we did this in years past, and y'all, it is just really pretty fun. So all of these seeds are 2023 seeds, and they are 50% off. All right, and so there's 6 packs per grab bag, and I'm going to tell you what the different groups are. And no, you're not going to know what you're going to get, but they're all of our great sellers, right? So the first group is we have a vegetable and herb grab bag that is normally, they would be $29.70. They're $14.85. So you're going to get 6 packs of our vegetables and herbs for $14.85. The next group, which I'm sure is going to be the first one to go, is our regular sunflower seed packets. You can get 6 packs of sunflowers for $17.85 that normally would have been $35.70. So you get 6 individual packages. We also have some of the jumbo seed packages, which most of those I believe have 200 seeds in each package. Those normally would have been $83.70 on sale for $41.85. But I want to just stop and say, y'all, 2023 seeds are stored properly. They are still good for next season and even the season after that if you don't keep them, if you keep them out of the heat and the humidity, right? So these seeds are still, and literally this is what we're going to be growing on the farm next year because I take mine out off the top, right? So we also have regular size packets of warm season seeds. That would be a mix of celosias, possibly zinnias, just any of those warm season that again would be regularly $29.70 for $14.85. They're 50% off. We also have some of the jumbo size warm season seeds. And that is again 6 individual packages for $38.85. half price off. And there are, friends, even some cool season seeds. $14.85 again for those. And then we have some jumbo size. So you're going to find them all in the app. And they'll be available until sold out. So get them while you can. And so we even have a few of our seed collections. So the first one up is the cut flower seed collection, which comes with this little booklet. It has a grid on the back that actually the suggested planting, and there's tips inside, y'all. So there's 6 packs of individual seeds in here, and they're 50% off, y'all. If they're on sale for $11.48 for 6 packs of seeds. That is just crazy, y'all. That is such a deal. We also have some of the sunflower garden. Same thing. There's a planting grid for you to follow. It has 6 individual packs of sunflowers for $11.48. We also have the Planet Pink, which is a super sweet. I mean, it's got zinnias and some celosias in there. The Planet Pink, again, is $11.48. And if you're a flower farmer, this is the one you want. This is the Sunflower Succession collection. This is 6 jumbo packs of sunflowers for $37.35. So that is really kind of like get them while you can, y'all, because, you know, anyway. So are we going to start on flowers now?
Fresh.
All right, so first up, Bobo has made the most precious little arrangement for our, tomorrow is my in-person workshop here on the farm, and we found this in the bathroom this morning. I'm going to try to hold it like she had it. So this is kale. Can y'all see that? This is some of our cut flower kale that she's cut really short, along with some eucalyptus around it, and this was sitting on the back of the toilet. She had this sitting on the back of the toilet, along with some of our spinning gourds actually sitting in front of it. And y'all, I just can't even tell you how precious it is. And so this is like a great fall tablescape, whatever, toiletscape, if that's what you want. Who doesn't want something pretty in the bathroom, right? But especially when you're entertaining, right? I mean, even a bowl of spinning gourds would be good. So Bobo always surprises us. We all were so happy to find that this morning in here. So we're still harvesting those, and y'all look, 1 sunflowers this week. I have some more out in the garden, but I left them out there for our workshop guests tomorrow. This is the Pro Cut mix. This is one of the Pro Cuts. I believe that this is actually plum. And we still have sunflowers, y'all. This means you would have sunflowers for Thanksgiving sales. Remember, we just pushed the envelope on those, and they're still doing great out there. Sunflowers are a cash cow, and grab up some of those sunflower end of the year closeouts. That's just a great opportunity. And y'all, this is one of my favorite eucalyptus. Look at the color. This is what I love about it, how small the leaf is, which means it's super easy to use in any application. And I love, can y'all see how maroon the stem is? It's really, really pretty. Love this. Parvula gum, and we do not have this seed in stock. Eucalyptus, we have a really hard time getting it because sorry y'all, all eucalyptus seed comes from Australia typically, and all of the wildfires, and it's foraged. I never knew this. It's not cultivated like we farm, right? And so the wildfires have really ended the availability. So all I'm saying to you is we'll sporadically just get seeds. If you want to get seeds from eucalyptus, you need to get on the wait list, because what happens, we get the seed, the wait list gets an email saying, hey, here it is, and it gets sold out again. So get on the wait list for this if that is what you want. And it just really dries beautifully too. This is from 2 weeks ago that's been out of water, and it does really well. And next up, we also have our pumpkin on a stick. How pretty is that? And so pumpkin on a stick is not just for Halloween, y'all. It's for all fall long, and it dries. These are also dry. They dry beautifully. Great tablescapes. It's actually an ornamental eggplant. So we grow it in the summer, and that is just a great crop to have come along now. Here's another eucalyptus, y'all. This is Silver Dollar. This seed is available, and I will tell you, this is the first seed I start after Christmas, like first week in January. So if you want eucalyptus to grow, now is the time to get the seed while it's available. This has a larger, more silver leaf. It's really great. And then look what I found blooming outside in the garden. This is actually a cool flower. This is Rudbeckia triloba, which is one of our favorite bouquet fillers, builders. It is really beautiful. And we had a few sporadic ones blooming out there in our habitat island. So you can just really get a lot of mileage out of triloba. So now we're gonna go through some cool flowers that are dried, y'all. So before I do this, I just wanna stop and say, so we're looking at the dried carthamus. This is safflower. The one tip that I would say about dried flowers is I would dry them in the manner that you're gonna use them. If you're gonna make little bundles to do wreath work, sometimes it might be easier to make the bunches smaller because stuff gets really fragile or brittle when it's dried. This is so beautiful, y'all. This is the Carthamus safflower, which is a flower that we use as filler before it blooms. Then we use it when it's cracking, then we let it bloom, and now we're even drying it. So that's a great, cool flower. And this, my friends, got a little flat. This is Cerinthe. Another amazing cool flower. We fall and very early spring plant it, and it has that really interesting blue flower. And you know, what you need to remember is people are using this stuff to make wreaths, to make dried arrangements, to make all different kinds of nosegays, and all dried flowers are back in, y'all. There's a lot of opportunities. So this is Cerinthe, and we just planted some out into the garden, and this is a great cool flower. And then some of the flowers that are really surprising to me. So this is Scabiosus, and all of the colors are here. I see that Susie, so this is, let me point them out. This down here is the blue, which she has up there. You can almost see the blue there. I was so surprised, y'all, that it held its actual color. So this is pincushion blue, and then here is the black back here. And so again, when you're making wreaths, I'm looking, I don't see any. Oh, here it is. Sorry, y'all. Look at this. Here's the Fata Morgan. And again, you know, it just depends on, no, it doesn't look like much maybe when you're looking at it like this, but think about these little clusters of flowers tucked into wreaths. You have to really think beyond the box. So this is pincushion Fata Morgan, another, that's Scabiosus, cool flower that we fall and very early spring plant. And this is one that we just really have come to love in the short time. I've only been growing this for 2 years, y'all. This is Amobium. This is like a little miniature straw flower. It only comes in white. It is gorgeous, fresh. I love building. It's almost like a cross of the single feverfew and straw flowers. It is really, really pretty. So try this fresh, and then if you have too much of it, it just dries beautifully, and the stem length is absolutely amazing. So that's amobium. So that's,
Yeah,
we know
which one is it?
that. So what happened to love it? We need love and a mist. Y'all, sorry y'all, we're having a, here we go. This is Nigella, love and a mist mix. And so love and a mist blooms with a blue or a pink or a white flower, but following that flower, you get these amazing seed pods. I just can't even tell you how many thousands of stems of this I sold to Colonial Williamsburg. They use this not only in arrangements, but for making dried arrangements and for making wreaths. The different colors produce the different, look at this burgundy color pod. Then there's some that are striped. So this is Nigella or Love in a Mist, and this is the Miss Jekyll mix. But there are other colors and varieties available in the app, and the pods tend to vary a little bit from color to color. Now, this is Ping Pong Pin Cushion. Y'all, this is that great little ball seed pod. Now, this blooms a really muted blue color, which if you're an event florist, you might love that, but that's not what we grow it for. We grow it for this pod that follows. So don't cut the flowers. Let them continue to develop into these pods. And if you check out any of all these home stores that we have now with decorator stuff, there is fake ping pong all over the place. This is so in. You definitely have to grow this for next year. So that is Scabiosis, Pin Cushion, Ping Pong. And y'all, I don't know how we would get through a spring without a ton of Yarrow Colorado Sunset. Now this is, the Colorado Sunset is what we call the Cool Season Hardy annual version. It does reseed, but let me tell you something. We replant it every single fall because only the really strong, aggressive colors reseed, like the white and the pale pink. Why do we grow this color? For the shrimp and the pale yellow and the red colors that are just beautiful. So this is the Colorado Sunset, and it dries beautifully too. So that is just really great for bouquets. Wait till y'all see this one. This has become to be one of my most favorite little flowers. So this is Craspedia, better known as Billy Balls. And when you fall plant this, we get 36-inch stems. These have been cut because they were using them in a display over there, but the stem length, which I know I hear people complain about from time to time, is about timing of planting. Fall planting and very early spring grows really tall stems, but I'll warn you, deer really love this foliage, so you've got to give it some deer protection. This looks just like yarrow, the Coronation Gold perennial yarrow yellow with Gumphrena sized balls. This is really an amazing little flower. So friends, we never have enough feverfew around here. And feverfew tends to all the varieties, in my experience. We fall plant it, we very early spring plant it. Each planting, all of it blooms at the same time. So it's really hard to succession. So drying it is a great option. This is the Vegmo single, which is one of my favorites. It's the little daisy flower. It dries beautifully. And I think knowing that you can dry it really helps kind of take the pressure off, right? And this is the White Wonder. White Wonder is got more layers of petals on it. So this is a really nice one. And I mean, it's really kind of cool dried. All of these guys dry really beautifully. And then this is Vegmo Sunny Ball. They have tighter little flowers, but they all, Jenny Love, when she was down here last time, I said, well, which one of the feverfews do you grow? And she said, I grow them all. She does wedding work. She does weddings. She's a farmer florist. Feverfew is really an important crop no matter what area of flowers you're actually in. And y'all look at this. This is Seeker Mix Status. We fall and very early spring plant it, so that means everybody has an opportunity to plant this stuff. This is great for fresh bouquets. I mean, the pops of color, but anything extra you have, this is all dried, y'all. It all feels like paper. Holds its color beautifully. So that is Status Seeker Mix. And then there's one color that doesn't come in there, and this is what is called Status Apricot. And this is really a muted, nice color. And again, it dries really, really beautifully. So one of our favorite poppies that we grow is the giant poppy pods. And you know, these pods are full of seeds, but we sell the pods fresh. That's our first line of sales, right? Selling them green and fresh when they're a normal size with no blemishes on them. Then we allow them to dry out in the garden. And the Florist, I mean, think how many wreaths you've seen these things on. Dried poppy pods are really, really useful. All right, so we're going to be wrapping it up here. If anybody has questions, be sure you post them in the comments, put @Lisa, and the girls will collect those up. And so just to refresh on a couple of things, remember that today is the last day to get growing cut flower crops in hoops and greenhouses from Steve and Gretel at the lower price. You'll find that over at thegardenersworkshop.com, along with a bunch of other resources, y'all. You'll find our videos, our blogs, our podcasts. You can connect with all of them. And you know, we have 2 podcasts. We have Field and Garden, and then we also have Seed Talk with Lisa and Lane, where we do a lot of seed chit-chat. Remember that this Wednesday at 12:30 over on Instagram, I'll be hosting this week the Ask a Flower Farmer. Would love to see you there. And friends, I just hope everybody has a really, really great Thanksgiving. If I don't see you on Ask a Flower Farmer, have a great one. You know, hold your family near and dear. Remember, there's no live show next Friday. It's Black Friday, and people will be out shopping and being with family and travel. And so check that out. And remember, we're doing a special show on Cyber Monday. That is November 27th. That we will be doing a Cyber Monday live shopping show, and we'll be kind of like all decorated up here to get into the holiday spirit, right? And again, I want to say that today's the last day that all of the Flower Farming Series online courses are being offered at the legacy price, which is $595 each. We have a price increase coming tomorrow, and we just don't want anybody that's been sitting on the fence to be sorry that they didn't know to strike and move if they want to do that. So find all of that over at thegardenersworkshop.com. Steve and Gretel's course is right in the top yellow banner at the top of the page. And so it is time to hear who our winner is today of our hand hoe. And if you're here, you need to give us a big old shout out, and I surely hope you're here. So our winner today of either a right hand or a left hand, she'll have to let us know, is Shauna, Miess. Sorry, I didn't want to kill your name. Shauna, we're green, it's in Shauna. Sorry, Shauna, Miess. And Shauna, if you're here, give us a big old shout out, and then you can tell us, what you're going to do is email us at info@thegardenersworkshop.com, and give us your mailing address and whether you want a right hand or a left hand version. And y'all, these are on special today. This hand hoe is one of the top selling tools that we have sold. Oh, she's here. Congratulations, Shauna. Thank you so much. So be sure to email info@thegardenersworkshop.com, and Ann will get your email there and let her know what your mailing address is, no P.O. box, and also whether you want a right or a left-handed version. And thank you so much for entering and for joining us here today. All right, so let's look at a question here. So we have this one is from Iowa Zone 5. Does cool flower plantings in the fall pertain to me, or can Iowans also plant cool flowers? So great question, and it's a really common confusion for people that live in really northern regions. So here's how you know whether you can plant any cool flowers in your garden. You need to know your winter hardiness zone, which you obviously do, zone 5. Then you can look at the individual flowers or the cheat sheet in the back of cool flowers. Any flower that is winter hardy in your zone or lower. No, or higher. No, or lower. Y'all, it confuses me every time. Higher. So you're in zone 5. I do know that rudbeckias are winter hardy in zone 5. So that means you could fall plant them. The other part of the equation, if you get really heavy snow load, you might not want to. But there are some, I think yarrow, the variety Colorado Sunset, and potentially even Sweet William. So there may be a few. But where we have people in zone 3 and zone 4 that have just really figured out how to get cool flowers into their garden in very early spring, which puts them weeks and weeks ahead of the warm season stuff. So yes, you can definitely manipulate cool flowers to grow where you are. Whether you can plant in the fall or not, there's big benefits. All right, my cool flower transplants started out great, but were nipped by a cold snap the second day after planting. Some of the growth is browning. Will the roots still be okay, or should I pull them and replace? So that's another really great question. So if they had only been in the ground for 2 days, that means they are not established at all. And if they were exposed to really deep, a big swing in temperature, there is the potential that they could have a struggle. You know, you never know. Why not restart or replant, but instead of pulling them out, just plant if you have space to snug some more in there. If they look bad, pull them and replace them. That's my moral to the story. But sometimes you can just like, okay, I'm going to restart some, plant them somewhere else. So if that patch doesn't, regain, then you can actually have a backup plan if you have the space to do that. But I totally understand, but just for future, that's why you got to have a row cover, hoops preferably, get your stuff watered in, mulched in, so that when it's covered, you can really take a lot of cold snaps, right? So home gardener question, I have some holes in beds where a few seeds didn't germinate from fall planting. How to fill those spaces? Well, that's another great question. You can still plug in cool season hardy annuals again in very early spring. You might not want to do it now if you're already into winter. So by starting, we start early January. Literally the first week in January, we're up and running, starting tons of very early spring planting cool season hardy annuals that you could start and plug into those holes. So you can definitely do that. And sometimes I'm surprised at the slow germination and some seeds will pop up that I thought weren't going to do it. So that'll cover you for both ways. All right, let's see. Will Chinese forget-me-nots grow in pots? Yes. And let me tell you, we were thrilled with our Chinese forget-me-nots this year. So Chinese forget-me-nots not only are a true blue flower in the blue color, they come in rows. They only grow probably about maybe 20 to 24 inches out in our garden, which is plenty tall enough. When you take any plant that's been grown out in the garden and you want to grow that also in a pot, what typically happens is they just don't get as tall. So large pots is the key, like, how you see those whiskey barrels. That's what I call a large pot. The larger the mass of soil, the happier the plants that live in them. And you can definitely do them. You could plant a little cool flower garden. I would do a whiskey barrel, cut into thirds, and put 3 different cool flowers, and they'll do really, really great. Can I here we are. I have a 30-inch raised bed, 24-inch walkways. How to lay Bio 360 when the walkway is pretty clean, knock soil off the edge of the bed to have something to cover the edges. So that's a really great question. So this is the way Bio 360 has to be installed for you to understand, those that might not know. So if my hands are at the top of the bed, you lay the film down and it goes on the top of the bed down the side, which is usually 4 to 6 inches because it's a raised bed. And then there's a little bit of the film that kind of goes down onto the ground. You cover the edge of that soil and the side of the bed with soil to seal that film onto the bed. So what was she actually asking? How to lay? So if your pathways are clean, that's what I was talking about earlier, where I use the hori-hori. You can use a hoe or you can use a hori-hori to kind of scrape and loosen the soil in the pathway, push it back, The film comes down the side of the bed, lay it, and then scrape it back up. That's literally what I just did in the back garden for these 2 demo beds that I made. So the Hori Hori and we actually, Bobo and I used back before I had a tractor to do this and we did all of our beds by hand, we literally used these hoes, crawling backwards, scraping the soil, covering the edges. So I hope that helps. South Louisiana, Zone 9, my cool flower plants are getting eaten by lots of caterpillars at a very young stage. Any suggestion? Afraid they'll eat everything. Yeah, it's amazing how much caterpillars eat. Now, depends on what kind of caterpillar it is, and it's easy enough to take a picture and get an ID on the internet. There's free download apps to ID insects. Every gardener and farmer should have it. I use Seek, S-E-E-K. It's free. You can take a picture of whatever it is and it'll tell you what it is. There is a product called Dipel, it's BT, and that is a larvicide. It is certified organic, and when we did use a product, that was the only product we ever used because only insects that were affected by the product were those that actually ingest the foliage, which means the caterpillars that are eating. But you have to be sure to get the right one for the caterpillars that you have. I think there's a couple of different kinds. So those caterpillars will eat your plants gone. And we apply the Dipel back when we used it, like right when we planted them. So it must be a plant and you're in a really warm area. So we don't actually have much trouble with that this late in the season. But Dipel is a product you could look up online and read about it, and maybe that would help you. So Zone 9B again, still warm here. Should I hold planting direct sown cool flowers? First frost is in January. For direct seeding, I would definitely plant now because you want to have time to plant them and for them to get up. Typically, in my experience, it's the transplants that start growing and get a little too big. Direct sown stuff isn't quite so robust, so perfect timing, I would think, to get your direct sown stuff in the ground. So here we go. Why do my seeds sprout in the soil blocks and then just sit there for weeks and not growing? So that is another really common, not common, but a comment that we've heard from people. I would say the number one reason that happens is overwatering. The second thing is the air temperature. So when I say overwatering, it doesn't mean there's water standing in the trays necessarily. Soil blocks, any type of seed starting method, you want to water in the morning, and by the next morning, 24 hours later, that soil should be dry. And because that's the cycle that plants grow best. They get water, they get a drink, and then when it dries out, they get lots of oxygen to their roots, and that's what makes them grow. And then the next morning, they're thirsty, and you give them another drink. When those blocks or any type of cell or whatever you're using stays wet 24/7, they don't get any oxygen. Well, guess what? It's like they're doing a slow drowning. Literally, and it is really easy to do that with soil blocks, particularly if you're not using really low-sided trays, if the air temperature in your room is not quite warm enough. So I would recommend first that you think about that. If you're watering the next morning and they're not dry, that could be the problem. And if they're not dry, how can you get them to dry out? Raise the air temperature, right? Be sure they're under a grow light. And get them outside as soon as you can. Plants don't want these are outdoor plants. They don't want to be inside. I love moving my plants outside. As soon as I think they're big enough, I move them out. And a lot of times it kind of fixes all those kinds of problems. So that would be my first go-to, is to check that. So friends, that's kind of the end. Have a happy Thanksgiving. See you next Wednesday at Ask a Flower Farmer. And then remember, we're going to be Cyber Monday, the 27th, same time, same place, 12 o'clock. And we will have a fun-packed holiday show for you, friends. Till we meet, and who knows what other surprises we may have for you. All right, folks.